guys. My name is Kay. I'm a messenger of the universe. Welcome, collective. This is going to be a reading on the blue moon and what the blue moon messages are for whoever's going to stop by and watch this video. I'm going to start with doing the channeled messages. As I shuffle, we're going to see what comes out for y'all and for everyone, because some of these messages will resonate for me as well. And before I do get started, I have to say, you guys, we have Patreon, link in the description box, and Instagram, link in the description box as well, so you guys can stay updated on everything that I've been up to, and you can also purchase a copy of my book through the link in my bio. So, collective, getting started, we're going to see what y'all need to know energetically, like what's coming out for the blue moon, or specifically like after the blue moon, because if you guys don't know, there's going to be a super blue moon tonight. The moon last night was in Aquarius and it's shifting into Pisces, so it's going to have like a bit of like that influence. And both Uranus and Neptune, Aquarius and Pisces, both of those planets are allegedly said to be raining diamonds. So when I think of those two planets coming together energetically for this super blue moon, I think of it being a time where we are learning to kind of bring our dreams into reality. And so you guys really want to pay attention to your dreams you have during this time, not just today, but just during the week of the full moon, because it can be giving you a lot of, I'm hearing precognition. Is that the word? They're giving you like messages before things happen so that you know how to deal with it when it comes, or like when it actually happens to you. And Aquarius and Pisces as well, I just kind of get, you guys could be, the message that you're getting, it's not just for you, I'm getting, it's also to help the people in your area, in your community. Yeah, your dreams are helping the people in your community. I don't think that it's just about you, I'm getting, like there's a bigger picture here. Like your gifts aren't just for you, they're for the world, they're for your community. And if you guys don't know, if you have been sharing your dreams or your gifts, they have been helping the people in your reality. Or at least it has been helping the people in your community. Like there's people in your community who are talking about your dreams or talking about the things that you've been talking about. I'm getting like someone specifically could be dealing with a court case or something that you helped them deal with, or that you did a prediction on. Someone's court case is working out in their favor. Or even if it didn't work out in their favor, you gave them a heads up that like, hey, this is what you need to do. And I'm getting others of you. So I'm still channeling. I'm not pulling out any cards yet, and I'm just trying to see what comes out. And I just got like a complete line of silence, and the first thing I thought of was a message that I put on Instagram up for the blue moon, and I basically mentioned how the throat chakra is significant. So there is some sort of truth that you're going to be speaking, or that you're meant to be speaking today. Just at least write down whatever it is that you're thinking about or talking about today. If you're an author, for example, use today to write and utilize your gift for your book as well. Some of you guys could be getting a divine download for your book or for your creativity if you've been experiencing like creative blocks. And the super blue moon is a time for us to open space, because the previous messages I've been getting for the collective have been about clearing mainly and cleaning up things and situations. And the messages that I'm getting now are mainly about calling things in, taking care of the things that we call in, or nurturing the things that we manifest, because a lot of us are having to learn to release control in this situation, and learning to release our, not just control, but also releasing our idea of like what it means to, what we thought it was to be a success. Because I'm getting like, you may have to just realize that whatever you think is successful now, whatever you think you need right now, it may be changing a lot over the next 6 months. I'm hearing full moon in Cancer, let your fears dissolve. Yeah, a lot of you guys are learning how to let your fears literally dissolve, like let go of the things that make you afraid of everything. And also I'm hearing letting people or celebrities or situations harbor off of your fear, or even content creators, y'all. You know, especially if you're heavily in spiritual content or in the spiritual community. Some of y'all not really as much, but sometimes it can be overwhelming and overstimulating to deal with all of the content being pushed at us at once. So I just think it's useful to find a few content creators that you love and commit to them, rather than indulging in like 50 different content creators and then feeling like the entire niche is saturated because you've already like put it into a box, because you've given your energy to so many different creators. So I'm getting some of y'all could even be unfollowing creators during this time and just literally just choosing to like clear your space on social media and on technology, because Aquarius also rules over technology. And with the influence of Pisces, it may be like you maybe feel a little bit delusional, like, oh, I'm not really doing anything, like, because I'm so small, I'm just one follower in this sea of people. But it's doing more for you than, and that's the kind of the point of it all. You're doing these things to influence yourself and affect your mental health in a positive way. Because if you have as much control on the internet as you did in real life, then it would be a lot different. But you can't just block people, for example, or mute people if they're saying something you don't like in real life, at least for right now. But the main point is like, you guys are just learning to use the control that you have wherever you do have it. And also let go of like feeling afraid of, I'm hearing afraid of the world or afraid of things. Some of y'all could be afraid of things that, and people, it's kind of messed up, but I'm getting like some people like use it against you because they know you're afraid of these things. Or like, of course it is messed up, but I don't know. I'm just getting like, be mindful of people using your fears. I don't know why I'm getting that. Like intentionally, like if you tell someone I'm afraid of clowns, and then every time they prank you, they use clowns, or like something like that. Like I'm getting someone's kind of being petty like that. And new moon in Capricorn. Some of y'all could be moon Capricorns or moon Cancers. And let your fears dissolve, step up and lead. Okay, yeah. Ooh, so this is what y'all have to let go of, the fear of when it comes to leading and when it comes to asserting yourself and using your voice. And I'm getting like, the main idea with the moon is that this energy has been hitting. A lot of y'all know you're meant to lead, but it's like you're afraid almost of taking on this new beginning. And I love how the full moon came out and then it's the new moon. Like, that's perfect. And the cycle from a full moon to a new moon is about, again, the full moon is when we're calling in the abundance, which is what we're going through right now during the blue moon. And then during the new moon is when we're going to be called to lead. So right now you're being called to let go of your fears, stop being afraid to speak your truth and to assert yourself. Especially I'm hearing authority, like you guys maybe don't speak with as much authority, or you don't claim your ideas as much. And it's just kind of like, put your foot down. Okay, like put your foot down and learn that your place is necessary, or at least your voice is needed, because a lot of people are learning from you and are being inspired by you and the ideas that you speak and the words that you speak, and they use it themselves. Not everyone's going to give you credit, of course, but you'll see the influence. You'll see that your ideas spread like a wildfire. You'll see that the things you do or the places you go or the things you read start going viral, or even some of you guys are creators yourselves. The things you post go viral, or the things you write go viral, or the blogs you create or tweets or whatever it is you create go viral. And I'm talking about creators that are unique and bring something to the table. Like, I always like to specify that when I'm talking about creators, because right now I feel like being a creator is so like saturated, or at least like people have like watered down what it really means to be an artist or a creator. And it really is kind of like leeching off of what other people are doing and then calling it your own or calling it your art, and like nothing about it is original. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being inspired by others, but to claim it as your own or to act like you're like a pioneer of it, knowing other people have been doing it for a long time, that's what makes the content creator label, or even the influencer label. I know some people don't really like that label anymore because it these things, they start off with a good intention, but they just become so saturated, and they become so overwhelming with people who aren't even as qualified or aren't really as well endowed, and they start speaking louder or start speaking over the people who are actually qualified, pretty much. And I'm getting like a lot of you are just at this point where you're like, I don't even know if I want to lead. Or you guys are you work in a field where you don't even know if you want to lead, because you're like, everyone's not going to listen to me. And you're honestly right. Like, everyone, I feel like no matter how amazing you are as a person, or how good of a reputation you have, still there are going to be people who don't want to listen to you. But that's not what you're here for. You're here to speak up your truth so that you can guide the people who want to be led. Because your gift is not, again, your gift is not just for you. There are people who are out there who need your gift, who don't have access to maybe the time that you have to share your gifts, or they don't have time to write things down, or they don't have time to pay attention to the patterns, or to even notice these subtle energies and influences that are happening. So for the powerful empaths and the psychics who genuinely watch me, and the unique creators who are supporting me, this blue moon is highlighting your talent and your skills and what makes you unique, and why people are being influenced by you, and that your influence is greater than you even know. And also, because we have the new moon in Capricorn coming up, some of y'all, when it comes to taking a leadership role, you're gonna have to be a little heartless. Like, I'm just saying, like, you're gonna have to, not necessarily heartless, but it's just gonna take a level of, like, people are going to look at you a little, like, you're going to be different. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be the same person you once were, especially as you step into this leadership role, or some of y'all are being promoted to a different position. But I'm getting it. It's calling for a different version of you. So you may find yourself transforming, and it does not always mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes you're going to love who you change or transform into, and sometimes you won't love who you transform into. But all times, you're still learning something about yourself. And you always have the space to alter things that you don't like about yourself, or that if you do like it, you can refine or whatever. But I'm just getting the main idea here is that you guys are just learning that your voice is needed in certain places. And even if you are very small, or you're not really as recognized, or maybe you see other people are bigger than you, or maybe they don't put in as much effort, but they're being more recognized, you're just going to notice there's not as much like substance behind the things that some of these people are doing. So as frustrating as it can be to see people blooming at their own rate, and honestly I think it can inspire jealousy as well, because we can compare ourselves to others, it's also important to just know that we do have our own rate to grow, and there's plenty of time for us to find our way and to bloom. And not everything that glitters is gold, y'all. So some of y'all are comparing yourselves to situations and people who aren't even on your level. Like, you got to really learn how to see things for what they are and see people for what they are. And I think that's why this new moon in Capricorn is coming up, because you're kind of realizing, like, when you be real with yourself, then it means you have to be like you have to look at things objectively, instead of like letting your feelings get in the way all the time. Like, if something's not working, it's not working. Let's change it. Let's fix it, or let's learn something so that we can change it, instead of just being complacent with it and comfortable. Like, I feel like that's what the new moon in Capricorn, that's what that's coming up for, to like remind you that a little bit of y'all are just gonna have to step into your villain era a little bit. And that's the main idea with these two cards. So what else is coming up for the collective? Keep in mind, it was raining earlier, Hurricane Idalia vibes, but I mean, I'm just chilling, still recording per usual. And I actually kind of like how it smells after it rains, so that's why I decided to come out here and record. I love how there's so much Cancer energy coming out. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Like, the moon is literally like, hey girl, what's up? And it's a full moon today, so that's why I like appreciate all the Cancer energy coming out in the full moon card as well, with the Cancer on it. So I really feel like, listen, the full moon is really in this reading today, and she's coming through. And the first thing I'm thinking of a story that I read where basically it was like one of the original stories where the goddess of the earth moved to the moon or something like that. If you know the story, go ahead and drop down a comment below. But it was basically, in this story, the goddess of the earth decided to move to the moon because she wasn't like having it on earth, where it was just too much going on, that she, like, her plants were being ravished, her trees were being taken down and disrespected, and she, like, it wasn't cool. So she decided to move into the moon. I don't know what that story came from, but I remember reading it somewhere, and that's what that Cancer card reminded me of. And a lot of Cancer energy is also a little bit Venusian to me, because it's like divine feminine, an incarnation of divine feminine. So I also feel like some of y'all could be a little bit pure right now, celibate, or literally just a virgin. But the main energy I'm getting is like your energy is very pure and clear. So I think that's why you guys can read energy so easily and so ineptly. Like, some people are so immersed in the mix that it's kind of hard to see things clearly without the biases or without the drama being infused into all your ideas. So I'm getting people like to hear your perspective because it's outside of the drama, outside of the biases. It's like, what does the spirit say? You know what I mean? Like what would the spirit say? Or at least what would Kayla's spirit say? What would Kay's spirit say if they were to say anything? And I feel like today the spirits of the moon are coming through. And the main idea is that we got to step into our emotions for the full moon, because we're going to be stepping out of them for the new moon. Okay, I don't know what's happening in the next new moon cycle or the next new moon in Capricorn, but it's going to be something big where we're going to have to be a little bit more. I'm getting that song Heartless by Kanye West, where he's like, why could you be so heartless? Like, I kind of get some of y'all are just having to learn to love all versions of yourselves, okay? And also Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat could resonate for some of y'all too. Y'all can have like moon Cancer placements, 4th house with the moon, 4th house Cancers, Capricorns, 10th house Caps, 10th house Cancer, 10th house Virgo, 4th house Virgo type signs coming out. But the main idea for y'all this blue moon is that you should look forward to you guys stepping into a leadership role or position, or being prepared to. Some of y'all are like initiates, or you're mentees of someone who is going to see you as a mentor in the future. And again, I also got a promotion that did come up for this collective reading. So some of y'all are going through like career changes mainly. So being promoted or having your income increase a little bit more. Some of y'all could even be changing where you live or moving, traveling specifically. Because, yeah, I'm getting the 10th house. Yeah, your career is going to be impacted by this next moon cycle. So that's what you can look forward to mainly, is within your finances and your abundance, and also your leadership and your idea of what it means to be a leader, speaking up for yourself, no longer being hidden in the dark. I'm getting some of y'all, someone has been contemplating on this or sitting on this for a while, because the moon is very emotional. It has substance to it. So this is something that like someone has been thinking about deeply or thinking about for a while, or they're going to be pondering on this for a while or considering you in this process, because there's a little bit of emotions attached to this energy or to this decision. There's a little bit of emotion attached to it. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past, inviting ecstasy. I am worthy of the pleasure I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. And also Aquarius, this card just fell somehow, but I think I already went over the Aquarius energy that came out with the full moon that we're dealing with today. And yeah, I think that's the main idea that I'm getting for this collective. The last cards, unhooking the past. Yeah, some of y'all are deciding to let go of your past, or letting go of a past job or past situation in order to let in the new, inviting ecstasy to let in something that's even better. I'm getting something even better than what you expected, or a situation that's even better than what you had before in the past. It's something that's going to be more fulfilling. It's going to give you more access to the things that bring you joy as well. And it's going to take you having to unhook from the past, though, or at least unhooking from the past version of yourself. Some of y'all, it's going to take you like mourning even this past version of yourself, or mourning a past version of you that existed, because it's no longer going to be with this new version of you that's coming in. But it's going to be even better, y'all. Like, it's not meant to be scary, but this transition that you're going through is meant to help guide you into your future, into your vision. And it's also giving you the vision. I'm getting October as well is going to be very significant, especially for a relationship. Some of y'all have a new relationship coming in by next October, or I heard this October, I meant 8th house, Neptune, Moon, Juno, 7th house, 2. And yeah, I think that's all that's coming out for this collective and everything that we needed to know for the blue moon. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this reading. If it resonated, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to join my beautiful community of my lovely ravens, my name is Kay. I had the pleasure of being your reader today, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Peace.